Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only.
Let's see the next one, Bandit 18. So the password for the next level is stored in the file readme in the home directory. Unfortunately, someone has modified the .bashrc file to log you out when you log in. Okay, they have modified this so that you will immediately log out when you try to after you log in. Okay, when you log in, after you log in, you will log out. That's what they are saying. So what we have to do now is get into Bandit 18 using the previous password. Alright, we were able to log in, but then we see this bye-bye message and connection has been closed. First of all, we were able to log in, so that's a good thing. And then it is logging us out. So what we need to do now, we have to log in, and after we log in, we can execute some commands such as this. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see this structure of this command first. This is as usual, so ssh and bandit and overthewire.org and then port numbers, and then the next comes the command. Okay, so this is just a command, ls, the list command. So we are trying to list whatever the ssh is taking to. Okay, let's see what happens. Here we see that there is a readme as shown here, but what is that readme? That readme is the file that is in the home directory. Okay, so our command executed successfully. So they said they have modified the bashrc file. So every terminal will have some rc file, like if I am using zsh, I mean Z shell, I will have a .z shell rc file, and if I am using bash, I will also have bash rc file. So let's see what our bash rc file looks like. Okay, I will have this bash rc file. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, but what they have done is they might have changed at the end of the file. Okay, instead of ending this like this, so they have changed the bashrc file to exit out of the ssh. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to print out the .bashrc file. Okay, so you know the usual cat command, right? So that cat command along with the .bashrc file. Okay, alright, till here you have seen in my PC, but here you can see some extension here like echo bye bye and exit 0. So these two are extra two lines that are being executed after the bash has been run. So what we can do is we can bypass this in a couple of ways. We can simply read the readme file which is available like this. So this is the shortest thing that you can do. Here you go. But I want to show you another way. You can solve this in a couple of other ways. First of all, let me see what shells are available. Okay, I see lots of shells are available, but when SSH is trying to log in, it is taking me to this bash shell. Okay, I can use some other shell like this. Okay, I'm copying this, and instead of this, I go to some other shell like this. Using -t will take you to some other TTY. That's a different concept. This command will execute and it will give a TTY. Okay, TTY is nothing but a shell. Okay, it will give a shell and you can execute commands after. So I'm entering the password, and it will give us a shell, and from there we can execute the commands. So it is showing nothing, but all right. All right, if you see here, there is a shell symbol here, dollar symbol, and if you type ls, you can see the readme file, and you can always get the readme file. I forgot, you cannot use this is not a full-fledged bash shell, so this is just a normal shell. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you can have to give the complete name of the file. Okay, and then you will be able to see this one. This is not a bash shell, so you cannot expect to for all the commands to work. For example, uh, tab will not auto complete the command. Okay, and it will not fill the rest of the information, and if you use arrow keys like up or down, so those will not be executed. So this is not that kind of shell which has some extra features. Okay, so let's exit out of this shell. You can solve Bandit 18 in another way as well. Before that, I want to show you the man page of SSH, and there is something called a sudo terminal. Okay, so to check that, you have to check what is hyphen capital T. So what this is going to do is disable the sudo terminal allocation. So you will not get a terminal like it will not reach any type of shell like sh or bash or any other shell, so it will not allocate a shell to it. Okay, so you'll see what I mean. SSH bandit, so this hyphen t at the end will disable the terminal allocation. Okay, so it's asking for a password. So it doesn't show anything right here, so it doesn't show any terminal, but it is actually logged into the Bandit 18 server. Okay, how do you know that? If you type ls, you see the readme file. So we're already in the home directory of Bandit 18, so you can also cat readme here and you'll find the answer. So that's how you solve Bandit 18.